blocker, Abby Castellanos. They're being asked to dig deep into their depth chart in the middle. Well, here we go. Eloisa Suarez, the freshman setter, will get us started on this Sunday afternoon. Georgia Tech, Miami. Happy to have you with us for some ACC volleyball. And Savannah Bach, the fifth-year setter, puts it on a tee for Sienna Tejada, but the block for Georgia Tech comes through on the very first point.
You have Bertolino, number 5 on your screen right now, going with the solo. That's a scouted play in this serve-receive pattern. Bianca Bertolino was there early.
Georgia Tech had just 2 blocks in the match against Florida State on Friday night, a 5-set victory. And speaking of passing, Keely, here's a free ball. Bertolino, the swing and the kill.
When you get a free ball, you see Pimentel sticking that pass that allows setter Suarez to go nice and low out, providing the seam for Bertolino to rip.
That was an area of focus for Coach Michele Collier's club. Wanted to serve better this weekend after struggling last weekend. Vach, back row. Lopez, a big swing, and they're going to get Georgia Tech on the double touch that time. Point Miami.
Lopez, you have a freshman lefty. Trust in from Bacher setter, going to her in the back row. This is much what you see now in the high-level college volleyball or the international game, really using that back row attack when the setter is front row.
Freshman from Puerto Rico, she's top 5 in the ACC in kills per set. Suarez, a tight ball. Bertolino with some power. And Miami's just going to have to bump it over. To Bertolino, trying to go off speed. She's blocked, that time by Heredia Colon. Heredia Colon on the swing. Longest rally so far this first set. Back row, Otene. And Lopez with a little top spin. Collects the kill for Miami, and we're square at 2.
Beautifully done, mixing up that offense already by setter Vach. Again, going to the back row, trusting Lopez would be there on that right back attack.
Savannah Vach serving, 5th-year senior from Winter Springs, Florida. Mendez uncorks a first big swing. Nice dig in the back row. They're feeding Lopez right now. Joust. And that attack is just long. Good eye by Tamara Otene, seeing that one just a little bit past the end line.
Incredible volleyball that we're witnessing right now. These are power attacks from Georgia Tech, and Miami's digging it like nothing. And then the back row attack offense from Miami is just high level. ACC volleyball starting off.
Now one of the top servers in the ACC, Bianca Bertolino. You can see why. That jump serve is nasty. And a little bit of confusion that time. Lopez couldn't elevate. Otene from the outside. And she's got it. Kill for Tamara Otene.
Otene changed her angle on that overpass, turning her wrist away to hit that one inside cut shot, putting that ball away on her second attempt.
Back-to-back matches with 20 kills and 20 digs for Tamara Otene. First player in school history to go back-to-back 20 and 20. And a middle swing from Ashley Carr. And that block from Mendez goes a little wide to the right, and it's a point for Miami.
That was a joust just at the net. Watch Mendez and Colon go up together. Colon got the angle and used it as a tip and a tool out of bounds.
Grace Lopez, but you can see why she's one of the most terminal freshmen in the country.
I love what Coach Keno said about Lopez, that she is special. She wants to take extra reps after practice, and as a coaching staff, they're like, hey, save your energy. We need it all season long.
She had a career-high 23 kills last week against Florida State, and there's an ace that time from Savannah Vach. Hard to overstate how important Vach is to this Miami club, Keely. She's the NCAA's active leader in assists across the entire country. Tough pass again for Georgia Tech, and a chance for Miami. And a kill for Ashley Carr. Junior made her ACC debut on Friday against Clemson. She'd never played an ACC match, Keely, and she came up big.
Just incredible, that transition. You have Vach. She's #1 in the ACC for assists per set, mixing up the offense, getting her middle involved.
And that time a service error finally gets the Yellow Jackets the side out. A 4-0 run for Miami comes to a halt. We've got Deandra Pierce checking into the middle for Georgia Tech. Oh, my goodness. And point Georgia Tech as Vach couldn't execute that one-hand set.
Okay, Pimentel's picking up that dig against one of the hardest attackers as a freshman, ripping that ball, Lopez.
She crossed over the 1,000 dig mark in her Yellow Jacket career on Friday in the win over Florida State. Lopez from the 10-foot line, another dig from Pimentel. Otene tries to punch it deep. Nice dig that time by Yadalise Rosado. Pierce pulled the trigger a little early on that swing. And a sharp angle. Lopez can't quite pick up that end line.
The best thing about the attack from Pierce, Georgia Tech's middle, was she took Vach out on the defensive ball, causing a little out-of-system different angle for Lopez to hit that and took it a little wide.
Now Paula Pimentel will serve. She began her college career down in Miami at Miami-Dade College before transferring to Georgia Tech after 2 years. Ashley Carr drops the hammer on the dome.
If you scouted Georgia Tech off the Florida State match, you saw that the 31-3, they call it, worked a lot. You love to see Vach going to Carr right away. That's 2 in a row for kills.
Carr's now played in 6 consecutive sets for Miami. She played 8 all season prior to Friday. Otene! An absolute lightning strike.
What a dish. First a pass by Bertolino on the money. Suarez going nice and low. That was not only a seam, that was a nice hole to rip.
Larissa Mendes from Fortaleza, Brazil. The latest Brazilian import for Coach Michele Collier. Suarez feeds Otene, blocked by Lopez. To the well once more, and that's a point for Otene.
Otene taking that rip, but she changed her hand. That one she expected, she didn't have the angle down, so took it a little flat, caused it to jump off that blocker's fingers.
Now with 941 kills in her college career, second year at Georgia Tech, began at Illinois State. Vach, Lopez, oh, the lefty's got some pop in that swing. Suarez to Otene, off speed. Miami keeps it alive. Feliciano. Back row, Bertolino, right off the left fist.
Yes, all the yeses in that rally. Strong digs, like making it look easy, and then out of the back row to finish is Bertolino.
You know, you look at the stats of these teams, Keely, the one number that jumped out to me was the difference in the digs per set. Georgia Tech leads the ACC. I mean, Paula Pimentel, such a big piece for them. Miami, meanwhile, they're near the bottom of the league in that category. What does that tell you?
You got to get that passing game going just to set up your defense, and also on the service line. That's going to get that going early on.
Good dig from Vach, but they took the setter out of it. Off-speed attempt from Heredia Colon. Oh, that was one of the prettiest tandems and connections we've seen today.
All the yeses right there. I watched you on video, but I have not seen you live in person. It is even better. You are special, Lopez. Keep going. You're only a freshman, bright future. Bienvenido a Miami right there.
You know, and Coach Keno, he tells us, you know, sometimes he forgets that Lopez is only a freshman. The way she plays, it's easy to forget.
And I love what Coach Keno says, like a player like Lopez and multiple players on this squad, they have high hopes. International play, Olympics one day. I love to see young players so locked in. He only gave her compliments about her work ethic in the gym.
Otene serving. Lopez, another kill for Miami. And Keely, there was a time not too long ago where a player like Lopez may not consider going to college in the United States. If your true destination is international professional volleyball, there were some who thought maybe going to the United States University wasn't the best path. That's changing, though, isn't it?
It is. So you see a lot of even our Olympic team, they all played college volleyball. Social media has increased. You have a player, a first-team All-American like Berkman, who can stop a block. That's a nice block right there going up. Beautifully done by Grieve. But yeah, it's been the evolution of social media and people just the knowledge, like you can come and play college volleyball in America, get great training, and then continue to play a long professional and maybe Olympic career.
And Grace Lopez there with a kiss off the end line. And we're even at 11. These two programs, again, back-to-back NCAA tournament appearances. In a lot of ways, you can point to the rise of the ACC in volleyball and look at these two schools specifically as a big part of it. Bertolino off speed, the pancake from Lopez. She can do it all. And the point scored by Angela Grieve.
That was a fantastic tip idea over the block by Bertolino, but you're right. Lopez made a last move read, got the pancake up for that rally to continue.
The freshman from Aguada, Puerto Rico, had her first ACC double on Friday against Clemson. She's got that jump serve like Bianca Bertolino. Pierce on the slide. The former Texas Longhorn collects a big point for Georgia Tech and stunts a 4-0 run.
For Georgia Tech, it was the third set where Pierce really got going on that slide attack. It's nice to see early on. That was on Friday, but today already doing that in the first set. Nicely done.
She had 10 kills a week ago up at Charlottesville. That was a season high for her. Grieve blocked. They'll go back to her. Blocked again. Point Georgia Tech. Anna Bosey stepping in along with Eloisa Suarez. Bosey having to fill those big shoes of Liv Mogridge.
Suarez knows she will be attacked as a blocker, but that's attention to detail in practice. Trying to take away the shot, just getting, that's some energy right there, getting that block.
I think right there you saw that emotion and satisfaction with how hard she'd worked on it in practice, Keeling, that facial expression. Oh, Pierce with a pancake. Otene leaping across the 10-foot line, taps it over. Savannah Vaughn. This is her 121st career match. She's seen it all.
Such a smart play. The first one, a tip shot on the middle. Pierce, recognizing the middle for Georgia Tech, was serving, and Pimentel was out as libero. And then Vaughn sending it over to the middle of the court, said, okay, you got the pancake, try to dig this one.
Now Angela Grieve serving, redshirt senior from Jupiter, Florida. Been second team all-conference the last 2 years. Bertolino off balance, but a pretty good pass. Oh, wow. What a dig. Feliciano. I beg your pardon, that's Rosado. And Bianca Bertolino with the kill.
Bertolino changing up her shot. She took the inside cut shot. Rosado covered that and then stayed on the inside cut shot for the second ball where Bertolino took it then to the deep corner.
Yadalise Rosado. It was Leilana Feliciano who got the start at the libero spot on Friday. And a block, but a tool. Heredia Colon packing some power.
A player like Colon can jump high, long arms going high into the block. When you match power with the fingertips of the block, a lot of times you can get those long tools out of bounds.
Tied at 14. Our last point before the break, and it's an ace for Savannah Vaughn. Well, Keely, we thought this might be a tight match. It is shaping up.
Talks about that. They understand the flow of everything. You're a student athlete, not just an athlete, but you're coming here also carrying that load being a student.
Cross court, Bertolino, she got the hands. Point Georgia Tech.
You just want to go do. Here she goes back to serve. Bertolino, hard palm contact. She hits it with such authority. And then watch her serve. One of the best to do it, definitely this year in the ACC.
From Argentina, she was one of those ACC freshman studs a couple of years ago. Lopez, I'm here. Oh, she has been on fire in this first set, Keely. What a pleasure to watch.
You expect to see this maybe with the junior or senior, honestly. So you're seeing the Bach-Lopez connection going right now. You got a senior in Bach going to her freshman. That takes time to develop, but when you can have a hitter hitting like that, you just keep feeding her.
Otene, tough set. Nearly collided into the net. Why would you feed anybody else?
Yeah. I'm like looking around going, I don't care where the pass goes on defense, just try to find number 23.
Now Lopez featuring that ravenous appetite right now, and she is scarfing up all the kills. A match high 7 of them, hitting .429 in this opening set. I'm curious, Keely, you don't often see many outsides with that power, especially as a lefty. Does that create any complications for Georgia Tech's defense?
I bet when she was young and they're like in Puerto Rico and they see her grow and you go, she's a left-handed, can jump like this, has this much power. She's going to make a lot of money one day as a right side attacker because of the angles. You can get wide with the left hand and take away hit a lot of shots coming in from different angles on that right side, much like a right-handed hitter on the outside. So a lot of power shots to work with. And you saw that bump set by Rosado. Inside didn't matter. When you have a high jumper in vision like Lopez, she can hit around the block, through the block, or over the block.
What can Georgia Tech try and do to cool her off, or at least discourage Miami from giving her opportunities? Do they double up on her? What can they do to try and slow her down?
You just hope that she goes to the back row because it will give different angles.
So get a side out.
Right, get a side out, give Bach back to the front row. And then for the defensive shot, you just have, as a blocker, recognize mostly the middle so you can get somewhat 2 hands on 2 people, 4 hands in front of her face, even on the back row attack. But offensively in the front row, if that ball is somewhat close, giving her nice angles, she's going over and around.
And she's built up her stamina along with all these players. Georgia Tech has played 4 consecutive 5-set matches. They've won 3 of the 4. Miami's played 3 straight 5-set matches. They've won just 1 of those 3 against NC State. Mendez goes line. Lopez goes line. Great dig from Pimentel. Bump set. Otene trying to make something happen, and she does.
Incredible job. The defense on 2 balls by Lopez. Suarez on 1. Pimentel on the other, and then a little whiff shot. You'll take it any way you can get it to drop it down.
So you're saying that was intentional?
Hey, that was not intentional. She's going a little roll shot, got caught under. You got a little backspin on it, you'll take it.
And looks like Coach Keno is going to challenge this ruling here. What do you think he's looking at here, Keely?
I think the only possibility might be a net violation.
Yes. Yep, that's what we hear from our public address announcer, John Murray, echoing here through O'Keefe Gymnasium. 22nd consecutive sellout here at O'Keefe. Oh, I think this one is going to be overturned.
Yes, that's a clear net violation by the blocker Otene.
Yeah, it didn't take long. That's our second referee, Thomas Hobbs, working with Suzanne Garland, who's in the chair. So net violation. Now Miami's got a 4-point edge as they approach the 20-point threshold.
For Miami, guys,
2 points.
That attention to detail every single time. And if Georgia Tech continues to pass like this, it's going to be hard for them to get any type of offense going.
Suarez looking to Mendez, freshman to freshman. And there's a point for the Yellow Jackets.
For Georgia Tech, that's the player that needs to get going. Like we talked about with Lopez on the right side, Mendez is the right side attacker for Georgia Tech, working a nice shot around the block from Cologne.
And Mendez has been hot lately. She set a career high with 17 kills last Sunday and then reset it on Friday with 21. And that swing is long from Heredia Cologne. And the Yellow Jackets pick up a couple of points to draw a little closer.
Georgia Tech is no stranger to comebacks. They were down 14-13. Florida State had match point, and they won the next 3 points. So this lead is still not safe for Miami.
Vok, middle, long, point, Yellow Jackets. A 3-0 run for the home team.
A good offense and blocking front row as well for Georgia Tech with Otene and Mendez on each pin.
Could be a joust. And that's going to be a violation against Miami. And Coach Kenna wants a clarification.
That's a back row setter going up and trying to set the ball. But if you're an attacker, this is what you want to do. You want to hit it if you're Pierce, because if a setter goes up with one hand, they're going to give it to the point to the blocker.
Lopez gets the tool. I just don't see how you could go anywhere else right now if you're Savannah Vok.
Oh, yeah. To finish off the set, you're like, where is 23? I'm setting her all day. That was a nice low set delivery. Even with 4 hands in front of her face, Lopez coming up with a tool kill.
Lopez has 8 kills in this match now, Keely. Georgia Tech has 9 as a team. Otene make it 10 for the Yellow Jackets.
That stat is impressive right there. Yeah, 10 as a team. And that 8 from the freshman right side on the other side. Otene, they need you to play right here, showing up. She pulled off the set in the 5th. On Friday night, she can carry the load for her team. That was a huge kill to come back now within 1 point.
And now a big moment for the senior setter, Isabella D'Amico, coming in to serve. A good serve gets Vok off balance, and the attack is into the net. Isabella D'Amico trying to find her stride. She's lost a little bit of her rhythm in the middle of this season, the team captain. And with Eloisa Suarez, she's taken most of the playing time recently, but that was a big moment for Bella D'Amico.
Pretty impressive when you can go to experience. You have D'Amico coming in at Georgia Tech, and then Manyang on the right side, providing a much taller blocker. She's on the left side of your screen, number 23. That combination, Georgia Tech has a deep bench this year. That happens at a higher level as you grow. Going to the Elite 8 2 years ago, you just continue to grow. You get better athletes inside, so Michelle Collier and staff can go deep into the bench and try to come back in matches.
But she was candid with us, Keely. If she had to draw it up, I don't think she'd like to play as many players as she's been forced to. But with the injury to Liv Mogridge, some inconsistencies at some positions, they're really trying to explore what their best rotation might be for the second half of the season.
I love what Coach Collier said. We asked her, Coach Collier, figuring out what it takes to win, mixing up different lineups. Is it fun? It's almost like chess. She goes, well, I wouldn't say it was fun.
That's one word choice. It's different, I'll say that. She really feels like in her 10 years now here, she's never quite had to dig this deep into her bench this often.
Right, you had 2 first-team All-Americans for 3 years with Mariana Brambila, Julia Bergman, both playing professionally right now. It was an easy lineup. You just roll it out and you hope the players go. But Coach Collier is really working her coaching volleyball IQ, figuring out what works each match, mixing up different players.
And speaking of the depth, we get our first look at Fafedo Manyang. 23 in blue checks in. She's in the front row. D'Amico serving again. And another beautiful serve. And Keandra Pierce sends it wide. Oh, that was on a silver platter there, Keely, and Pierce could not collect.
And you saw the leadership of D'Amico right away say, Pierce, no big deal. We got the next one. Because Pierce definitely felt that load going up, wanted that ball back.
So instead, it's now Iadalise Rosado serving the libero. D'Amico, Otene, and now a collision in the back row for Georgia Tech, and a point for the Yellow Jackets. They catch a break as Lopez's attack goes long.
Wow, you had both defenders, middle back and left back, fall into the floor with a little collision. Georgia Tech was just holding their breath like, please hit it even to the right side.
Otene. And Grieve goes deep corner and beats Pimentel. She's not an easy libero to get that one past.
Pimentel's been digging the left side of the court for a couple matches, really strong, but Grieve taking that one-on-one That's a test. Go ahead, a little touch off the block, cause that movement for Pimentel not to recover.
Well, Miami's got a 1-point edge, and they got Lopez at the line. Otene, a little roll shot, dug out by Rosado. Bertolino, blocked. Back row, Otene, and she gets the kill. That's a huge side out for Georgia Tech with Lopez at the line.
Otene approached on that ball, and that set was slightly behind her, changing her shot, taking a little pace off of that, catching the blockers, falling into the hands. That was a huge point for Georgia Tech to recover on it.
Now a couple of subs here coming in. We've got Callie Engelman at the front row, and then for Georgia Tech, here at the line is Liz Patterson. Serve specialist coming in for a big point. Vaughn to Grieve. Out of system here. Bertolino with the dig. Manyang is blocked, and Miami earns set point.
Coach Collier walking over to her challenge card. She might have seen a net violation. She's like money on using her challenge cards when she sees net.
She's going to use it here, and this, I mean, needless to say, Keely, it's going to be a big call. Somebody's going to have set point after this review. Currently, it's with Miami. And I think at least part of these two teams, Keely, they got to be looking around and saying, man, this has 5 sets written all over it again.
Right. And I do love what you said with Coach Keno. He was like, there's no such thing in ACC volleyball as an upset. It's any given day. All these teams are good. And he's really excited about the potential where ACC is going and all of the TV work that we're doing just to make it more public.
Well, on that look there, I didn't see a net violation, did you?
Now I saw the ball bounce off the arms of Grieve and then bounce off the net to cause the movement.
There's so much talk around college athletics about different sports growing. And I think volleyball's got to be at the top of that list. One more look here. Yep, there it is. That's what caused the movement of the net was the ball, not the hands.
And the other angle was actually a little closer to the blocker to show it. That one is hard to see. When it's far away, it almost looks like she did touch it. But that distance one is the one that's harder to see.
So I imagine this is going to stand, and it will. So Miami, set point here in the opening set on the road, a hostile environment, a sellout crowd. A huge opportunity for a team coming off a discouraging loss Friday at Clemson and Derby Gym. And they've got Angela Grieve at the line, who with 20 aces this year is at the top of the Miami leaders.
Bertolino knows this ball's coming to her.
It goes to Otene off the wall, and the set belongs to Miami with another ace from Angela Grieve. And the Hurricanes coming off a heartbreak. I mean, the story pretty clearly, it's Grace Lopez. And then also in the service department, Miami 4 aces, Georgia Tech not a single ace. Mendez gets a long duel, point Yellow Jackets.
Nice job on that play. Suarez ran Engelman away on a 3 attack, and that caused the middle to step over and getting that seam enough for Mendez to work with.
Pimentel serving. Vaughn to Grieve. Tough ball for Mendez. Lopez trying to keep that hot streak going. 8 kills in the first set. And that's a tool for Flor Marie Heredia Cologne.
This is impressive volleyball ran by setter Vaughn. Just working different attack. You saw her go into Tejada in the middle and then nice and flat to her outside, running a great offensive game.
Now Milana Moisio will serve. Moisio, sophomore out of Illinois. Pierce in the middle. Fine dig by Lopez. And the block for Miami is working.
Colon with complete penetration on Mendez, taking away the shot. Good late recovery by the middle, but Lopez. I want to say Lopez all day long, but Colon getting that.
Suarez gives to Otene, and she's got the kill. Otene was a little slow out of the gate on Friday night against Florida State. What have you seen so far through a little more than a set from her?
The offense goes the way Otene goes with Georgia Tech. So if she can get some, she's the emotional leader just in her demeanor and attacking, because she's able to hit high, taking care of balls. So she's got to get going for Georgia Tech.
And that one just long. She's got 6 kills against 2 attack errors so far in this match. So point to Miami, and now Savannah Vox serving.
You almost feel for Georgia Tech that they're trying to figure out offense, because Miami's doing a great job getting a block set up, serving tough on the service line.
Suarez, Pierce slides and terminates.
You got to be happy with that slide improvement throughout the season. Pierce going behind, get a one-on-one opportunity. Suarez setting her nice and low. That's how you do it.
Both these teams down their top middle blockers. Liv Mogridge for Georgia Tech out with injury. Janice Leal, first-team All-ACC, also unavailable day-to-day. Otene back row, it's into the tape. Point Miami.
Yeah, that ball, it was either going straight down or an error, because nobody was going to touch that ball, how fast she hit that.
And now Flor Marie Heredia Colon out of the Dominican Republic, Santo Domingo. Pimentel bump set, looking for Bertolino. And she just rolls it over the net and beats the block.
One thing when you watch Georgia Tech practice, they work a lot of out of system, trusting different players to step in and put a ball on the dime. You saw Pimentel take authority, said, guys, I'll take it. Beautiful bump set for Bertolino to take care of it.
And now Liz Patterson coming back in to serve, senior from Birmingham, Alabama. We saw her late in the first set. Knuckler. Lopez uncorks it, and Georgia Tech just having trouble handling that power. Here she comes again. What a dig from Patterson. A third swing. Still alive, and oh, we got a whistle and point Miami. It's a violation there on Bertolino. Is that what I saw?
All the yeses right there. Patterson laying out your serving specialist. Waits her time to get on the court. That is how it's done. Earning points. But this one, just a little net violation. You know you want that back as a blocker, but way to step up.
So Lopez does get credit for the kill there. She's now got 9. Bertolino blocked again. Mendez. Falk to the middle, Tejada. Aggressive pass over there by Pimentel. And another kill for Grace Lopez. Keeley, she is taking over the match. She has taken over this entire gym.
I know on our sheet right now on the roster, Lopez is a freshman, but she's definitely playing like an upperclassman with dreams of playing professionally. Girl, keep dreaming. You're doing great.
Had a career-high 23 kills last week against Florida State. That number might be in jeopardy this afternoon. And a violation against Miami on the net that time. And Michelle Collier, a little bit of a look of finally.
You can see Bertolino just gathering her team. She's the leader. Bertolino pulled off a lot of aces and just maintained composure throughout the match on Friday night when Florida State almost won in 4 sets. It was Bertolino's leadership bringing that back.
Eloisa Suarez. On the middle swing, Sienna Tejada, who moved to the middle, Keeley, after those injuries to Cassiano and Leao.
It's nice when you have players running different positions. Tejada can swing on the outside, And then love to see Vach just mixing up the offense. Georgia Tech's block not able to get set up because of how diverse this offense is working.
Aggressive serve from Lopez. It goes long. But going back and say Hada, Keely, I don't think Coach Keno has really made up his mind as to what her long-term future is at Miami, whether it's in the middle or on the outside. They've been cross-training her the last couple of months. And right now, at a need, it's in the middle. But what do you think of her game?
I love how fast she is off the ground and how high she hits. But that's the setter connection that you have with the hitters as you continue to work with each other. So Vach's doing a great job, but Tejada's only a sophomore, so we're seeing her in the middle this year. But who knows, we might see her on the pin next year.
Greaves serving. Her ace closed out the first set. This time, Georgia Tech gets the quick side out, and Tamara Otene a little off speed.
If you're Georgia Tech, you take a note of that. Off-speed shots into the blocker's hands are falling. Those are how you're getting killed. So you don't have to hit hard. Just have a little hesitation. Throw in a tip shot high into the hands. Every time Georgia Tech's been doing that, they're coming up with the kill.
Heredia Colon does not get the tool. As they say, it caught some Miami hands on the way back down.
That was so fast, you almost can't hide it nowadays with all this surveillance with cameras. So that ball was hit off the blocker's hands and then back onto the head of Colon before it went out of bounds.
It's taken away some of the salesmanship in volleyball, hadn't it? All the replay review.
Oh, yeah.
Pimentel, is that a foot? Oh, my gosh! Bend it like Beckham. But Miami wins the point, but that's a highlight for the end of the year, huh?
If Georgia Tech won that point, you knew that was going ESPN right away. That was a huge block to shut some momentum up because that was a major kick save going out. This is why you cross-train right here. Soccer from Brazil, why not? Huge block coming up to finish. That's how you cut your momentum right there, Miami.
Yeah, Tejada with the block. Keep in mind, Georgia Tech doesn't even have a soccer team. Otene with the kill. Tell you what, Paula Pimentel, if they did, she might make the team.
Oh, my goodness. Suarez going about 13 feet back and then dishing that ball on the money. Beautiful set on that push.
When's the last time you saw one of those?
The kick save?
Yeah.
When I played in Spain, you see it often. Like more players internationally start with soccer. So you have some of the best athletes in volleyball that started in soccer.
Because I don't think I've seen that in a college game here in the States before.
Yeah,
but you've watched more volleyball than I have.
I mean, it's just our country, right? We're more of you play softball, basketball, you get tall athletes, mostly basketball, volleyball, so you don't really start, if you know your parents are tall. In America, you start them with like a basketball or volleyball.
Ashley Carr there notches her third kill. She had 8 kills and 8 blocks in the loss to Clemson on Friday. Point to Georgia Tech and Keely. I mean, it has been nip and tuck from the moment that first serve went in the air between Miami and Georgia Tech, and we're dead even at 10.
You almost feel the momentum's on Miami's side, and Georgia Tech just hanging on, trying to figure out their game still, but Miami's just staying strong.
Heredia Colon got the high hands. Point Canes.
Coach Collier asking her players on that one, did you touch it? And Bianca Bertolino looked over, yeah, coach, I touched it.
But I think that's an astute observation there, Keely. I mean, just from a body language standpoint, Miami seems to be playing a little more free. Georgia Tech feels like it's kind of having to fight uphill a little bit. But as you said, they did drop the first set, but they've been tight the whole way. Overpass. Lopez. Oh, Heredia Colon with the one-hand dig. Yeah, that's a double touch, though, and point Miami.
And look who stepped up is Bertolino, your senior, going strong, getting that block set up with Pierce on the close. If you need to cut momentum on Miami's side, you have to shut down Lopez, at least slow her down.
Miami's got a side-out percentage in this match of over 60%. Belichick just haven't been able to string much together. And that time the block coming up big. Callie Ingeman. Point Yellow Jackets.
Great read on that. Taking away the shot. Engelman one of the strongest blockers for Georgia Tech, getting some action and loving your playing time right now.
She missed all of last season. She tore her ACL in the preseason. Played just one match in her Yellow Jacket career over her first 2 years. And she's right now getting the longest burn, if you will, of her career with the injury to Mogridge. And there's some discussion here between the officials and Coach Keno. No challenge, but just clarification. Patterson serving. Oh, my goodness. From the rafters, Grace Lopez.
Block me once, go ahead, not twice. Lopez ripping that ball inside, cut shot. Get that.
I don't know if I've ever seen a volleyball reach terminal velocity, but that was close to it.
Yep, incredible play by Lopez right now.
And now, Yanelise Rosado. Bertolino is wide. Point Miami.
Bertolino going for the correct shot. It just caught net on her angle down, and then net bounced the ball out.
Bianca with 6 kills. Second behind Otene with 8. Of course, Lopez for Miami leads the match with 11. A little bit of chaos. Oh, how about Sienna Tejada and Angela Grieve right there, Keely?
Feeling loose, feeling free. A lot of times when you're going against a higher-ranked team, you can just play your game because you have nothing to lose. You're seeing that right now with Miami, all locked in, playing hard together.
A 3-0 run. Rosado. Soft serve. Mendez. And point Miami. Grieve beats the block. As we step aside here in the second set, the Hurricanes. They've taken set number 1. They've got momentum in set 2. Team a year ago trying to do the same thing this afternoon, Keely, in 2023. And we've talked a lot about Grace Lopez, but how about the work defensively of Yanelise Rosado?
Rosado, 7 digs right now. It's her serve receive pass that's been on the money. And then Rosado's doing all the extra things as well. Stick and bump sets perfectly for her teammates. She's just playing an all-out awesome game right now.
She had just 4 digs in 4 sets against Clemson, getting the start at Libero today. And serving out of the break. Bertolino. I'll tell you what, it's just we give Rosado a little praise. Bertolino says, well, hold on now. She's not digging everything. Great swing from Bianca Bertolino.
Beautiful set delivery, nice and flat. That's the way Bertolino likes it. Flat inside, give her a seam, she'll rip it.
And Suarez, who executed that last set, now serving. Falk bumps it, Grieve. Pimentel, great dig. Lopez, wow, man. I mean, in some ways, you kind of commend Pimentel for even getting that much of it. But Grace Lopez just on another planet right now. She's got a dozen kills, half of Miami's kills today. Just
straight power. It's going to be hard for any blocker defense to defend the way Lopez is playing today.
Into the net, saw the jump serve. When it comes to her velocity, how much can you truly train power and velocity, and how much of that is just innate God-given talent?
So a lot to do with how a player is built. So the whip is almost like a pitcher. Like, do they actually have a whip of an arm, and then you add technique to it? And then with volleyball, because you have to jump and clear a net, you have to either be a high jumper or be tall. So you see a mix in the volleyball world of the height, the difference of the jumps. But when you have a player like we're seeing with Lopez that can jump high, that's tall, and then has the whip speed technique, she's one to look out for.
You're kind of looking at Godzilla, I guess. I mean, it's terrifying. Otene with a little bit of vertical smash.
You almost felt her frustration be let out on that swing by Otene. Good cover, recovery. and then ripping it. You give Otene or Bertolino a seam, it is going down. It's all about getting that extra effort. Ball on the money for both of them.
Pimentel serving. Big swing from Heredia Colon. She gets the fingertips. Keely, you praised Georgia Tech's ability to hang around so far in this match, but they don't figure out something quick here. They're going to be looking at a 2-set deficit on their home court.
You have to take risks on the service line. You watch the last couple passes. Vach is running the offense from the net. She's not running balls down. She's able to create that one-on-one opportunity for her hitters.
Suarez, Otene. Good dig from Moisio. And perfect placement, Angela Grieve in Miami. They are poised to get up 2-0. The Yellow Jackets will call timeout. They have not lost a match in this building this year.
Just trust as Vach was going forward to reverse it back to her pipe attacker. Beautifully done. Miami is playing loose. They're playing together. And most importantly, if you're Coach Kendall, you almost want to say, guys, good job on sticking passes today because the offense is being run at the net by Vach.
And again, speaking to O'Keefe Gymnasium and just the hostility it greets its opponents with, the Yellow Jackets have won 49 of the last 56 matches in this building. So for Miami to get up 2-0 would be a huge accomplishment and put them on the verge of what you might classify as their biggest win of the season.
Offensively for Georgia Tech, not able to mix it up. It's really heavy. Otene and Bertolino, that says a lot about the passing. And you have Mendez only with 2 kills on the right side. But you're right, the story is Miami. The way they're playing today, playing hard, loose. I am loving the game from Vach, but that's what you expect in a 5th-year starter. Just going strong, mixing it up, and the confidence that she has with the young players that she's already developed. That is leadership, that's time in the gym that you train to really get that connection going to perform like you're doing today.
She is 3rd all-time in the Miami record books in career assists. The only player she trails, Katie Gallagher, and then Jill Robinson, who was about a contemporary of yours, Keely. I think you guys overlapped a year. Of course, I don't think Miami was the ACC at that time, but in 2003. All right, so Melina Moisio serving, trying to get Miami to 20. And that is just long. Point Tech. All right, Keely, you talked about trying to be aggressive from the service line, something Georgia Tech did very well on Friday.
And you see Coach Collier knows she'll have to put a bigger block. We're going with the 6-2 right now, putting setter D'Amico in, and then Manyang on the right side, who can do it both offensively and defensively.
Bella D'Amico serving, the senior team captain. Lopez off speed. That might have been the first time today. Otene is blocked. Ashley Carr. Wow.
Right there is how you shut a player down with taking away any hope on that swing. Watch the jump in. Good read, good penetration with your middle cover. Nicely done. Carr on the close.
65% side out for Miami in this match. Otene. She might have had a kill that time, but it'll be point Yellow Jackets anyway. And again, Keely, the Yellow Jackets, they've hung around. This hasn't been their best performance of the year, but feels a little bit like now or never if they want to try and take this second set. That's
right, an experienced setter D'Amico has going. That's a nice set recovery, going nice and flat out there.
Vach with the sneak attack. The 5th year. Boy, she picked her spot perfectly.
Experience is on Vach's side. She recognized that I haven't tipped one over yet. Let me go ahead and test the court. That was even with the jump set, but she kept her hands under the net. You almost want to challenge that.
Yeah, that might be what Coach Collier is talking about. Yeah, she's reaching for the challenge card. And a bit of a disagreement here between Coach Collier and
That's a hard one.
Thomas Hobbs.
I think Hobbs was saying you can't challenge that, and Coach Collier was saying, why can't I if the hands were over the net on that tip as a back row setter?
And a whistle prior A violation against Georgia Tech, and now Miami, they got a 5-point edge. Georgia Tech forced to call a timeout. You know, Coach Keno calls Savannah Vach the silent assassin. And Coach Collier, hardly silent. She is still arguing with our referee.
I mean, she's not wrong. So that ball, Coach is arguing that the setter dump as a back row setter, her hands cleared the net. And if your hands go over the white of the tape, it's a back row violation if you send the ball over as a back row player. So Coach Collier is still having that conversation. Now she's back into the huddle, but it was a subjective call, so that's not a challenge you can use. Is that a rule you can?
Play.
Exactly,
yes.
Reviewable play. Look at you knowing English.
Hey, I'll take care of the English if you take care of the volleyball.
Yeah, there you go. Deal.
So what you're saying is because she's coming from the back row, that's a judgment call for Coach Hobbs. And I imagine that with cameras, you get a little nervous about determining whether or not something's above, your hands are above the net. Depth perception comes into play there from the camera. And,
right.
You know, you talk the NCAA's perspective is that's too much of a subjective judgment to try and clarify on video review.
You almost have to have a low net camera to actually see that angle. So I can see how that would not be a challenge call.
Or how about just like a flat hologram, like a some type of light that's at the height of the net, and you see when somebody's hands go? That'd be good, right?
The way we're going with technology, that's going to happen.
So you think maybe
one day.
fall of 24?
Probably. I'm thinking we got a couple more years, but who knows? We're at Georgia Tech. We got a bunch of these technical schools and smart schools. In ACC, one of these students can create it.
Somebody's got the newest AI on campus. We can ask the question. They'll tell us how to do it. All right, Heredia Cologne serving. D'Amico, Manyang, and she gives Georgia Tech a much-needed point. Look out for Kurt Hoyt. Voice of Tech Volleyball took that off the laptop. He's got a smile up there. Attaway, Kurt, Kurt Hoyt, one of the best in the business, over 20 years at Georgia Tech doing volleyball.
Yes, Kurt Hoyt. If you can't watch us on TV, tune in for some radio.
Vach, Lopez, and the tool. 13 kills.
Incredible. In this situation, it's hard not to pull Manyang so far in to help middle and to your outside, and then commit Engelman more to go block and help to make sure 4 hands are in front of Lopez's face.
D'Amico, Manyang, good block from Miami. And Bertolino just beats the block, thread of the needle there. Point Georgia Tech. Their backs up against the wall.
The out-of-system pass by Pimentel was on the money. That's some leadership right there, stepping in. Bertolino gave her a high five after it. Great job.
All right, so it is Suarez serving. Miami won the first set, 25-23. Lopez off-speed pancake from Pimentel. And a tool from Lopez. Engelman going for the block, and now Miami has set point here on the road.
Entering into the brain of setter Vach. This is off a bump set. She could have gone outside, but she's like, I'm going to go to my hot hand Lopez and reversing it back with a bump set. Trust, I'm loving it.
And now she's got that dangerous jump serve here. She's going to try and ice away this second set and give the Canes a 2-0 lead at O'Keefe Gymnasium. Fine dig by Bertolino. Now they'll go for her for the kill, and she's got it.
Bianca Bertolino can do it in the front row. She has the potential to put a nice serving run. They're going to need Bianca Bertolino's highest serving game right now to come back in this set.
Still looking for her first ace today. Not going to happen here. Lopez secures the second set and silences O'Keefe Gymnasium. Grace Lopez, 15 kills for the true freshman who has come in and taken over one of the most hostile environments in all of ACC volleyball, and she is taking the air right out of the building.
To pull off this win.
This is the first time this season Georgia Tech has dropped the first 2 sets of a match. So unfamiliar territory for the Jackets, And Bianca Bertolino wins the battle of the net. Point Yellow Jackets.
Bertolino recognizing Bach, the setter, was front row to turn on that overpass. That's just a great heads-up play, recognizing the front row setter to turn on that.
And Keely, I think that the one number that really jumped out to me, and Lopez is a big part of this, but Miami as a team hit 375 in the second set. Georgia Tech's among the top teams defensively in holding their opponents to a low hitting percentage. They're second in the ACC. Miami hitting 250 entering this third set.
And the difference is passing. So Coach Keno talked about it. We need to pass to run our fast tempo offense. He said one of the biggest strengths that Miami has is the tempo, but it all starts with the pass. And right now, 2 in a row, not great passes. So Vox running already more than she did the first 2 sets.
And Lopez blocked by Bertolino, and the Yellow Jackets landed the first punch to begin this first set.
This is going to be a match that you're have to dig with everything you got if you're Georgia Tech. And for Miami, Coach Keno knows you got to get that pass back.
And momentum in this sport, Keely, can switch so fast.
Yes.
In some ways, if Miami sits here and says, we let Georgia Tech win this third set, then all of a sudden we're the ones who are on our heels. Yellow Jackets have momentum and the home crowd behind them. Heredia Colon with the kill, her 6th of the match.
Colon changing her shot. She recognized she had 4 hands in front of her, 2 blockers. Watch out, she hits this ball flat. Great set, going high into the hands to catch the power tool long and deep.
And in that win over Georgia Tech in Coral Gables last year, Keely, Heredia Colon had a career-high 18 kills in that 4-set victory. And Narisa Mendez, that's a big swing for her confidence, Keely. She was noticeably absent in those first 2 sets.
Hitting negative the first 2 sets. Georgia Tech needs the offense. When you have Mendez, a player that plays with Olympians back in her home team in Brazil, you got to rely on that experience coming through and wake up and say, it's a fresh set.
Bertolino with a service error. The Yellow Jackets still without a service ace today. But going back to Mendez, I mean, her last 2 performances, Keely, 17 kills on Sunday at Virginia. That was a career high. Then she reset that career high a couple nights ago against Florida State with 21. And she gets the kill that time. So she's already doubled her kill total for the first 7 points of this third set.
Nice to see the strategy. When you have time to look at the stats between sets 2 and 3, as a coaching staff, you're like, oh, I have to get Mendez the ball. Some sort of a right side contact and kills, so the block commits over there as well.
One of the top outsides in Brazil, a freshman here at Georgia Tech. Otene. Did she catch the hands? Yes, she did. Point Yellow Jackets up 6-2.
How fast that ball goes. A lot of times you watch the body language. So if a touch is called and there's no argument from the blockers, you know it was an obvious touch.
This is really the first time today you feel like Georgia Tech has some momentum.
Right.
Lopez. A little long. And for a moment, I thought they might be looking over to challenge that perhaps for high hands, but Coach Keno not doing it, not going for the card.
You know, in football, there's 2 halves. So in volleyball, there's like a half and a half. Like if you go 5, it's a little longer. But sometimes during that moment, when you're up 2-0 against 11th ranked team in the nation, you like realize what you've just done in the first 2 sets. And if you allow that to play emotionally into your game, you can get tight indirectly. Coach Keno arguing for the touch on that.
Take a look at his 2 assistants there, Jillian Hatter. And then sitting down there on the bench, that's Eric Johnson in his first season. Coach Hatter there standing up, associate head coach for the Canes. Heredia Colon picking up another kill.
If you're a young player, watch this. The middle runs away. And if you're Pierce as a blocker, you have to commit over there to front par. That gives a one-on-one opportunity if you put a low, flat set back to Colon to rip.
Suarez to Pierce. And the southpaw, look out on the Yellow Jacket bench. flying object zooming in, and Coach Collier waving her challenge card.
So fun, without hesitation. Coach Collier, I love what, she's an amazing player back in her day. She just has an eye for net violations and touch, and I would say she's about 90% correct.
Used one challenge earlier in the match. Of course, she saw a net movement, and it wound up that it was actually the ball that had hit the net, not a net violation from a Miami player, but it also gives her a chance to draw up a play here.
She's breaking down that serve-receive pattern, what she sees. Like, we'll get the side out with what we're doing, but that serve-receive ball, you got to get going. Oh, nice job, Coach Collier. I swear, she just has a great eye for any type of net motion when she knows it's not her Georgia Tech player.
Yes.
She's using it, grabbing that green card.
So who was that? Carr? Yep, Carr with the right elbow that time. I mean, just barely. And the story's been told several times, but you know, for Coach Collier, a star at Jacksonville, or big part of South Florida. She coached at Jacksonville, star at South Florida in college. She's born in Brazil, moved to Nebraska as a young teenager, adjusted to the States, and she has really built that pipeline from her home country of Brazil. And I mean, just littered throughout this roster, just game-changing players, and you know, another couple All-American banners have been lifted from Brazilian players as well. You can't say enough about just the way she's been able to recruit.
Incredible. And now the program leader in all-time kills for Georgia Tech, Coach Collier, said she could do it, and she has done it.
It's going to stay with Miami. What do you think, Keely?
That's questionable. He's saying it was, so the down official saw the net violation, but he said it did not interfere with the play. Coach Collier was like, wow, how is that possible? That's a tough call.
All righty. Mendez. Back row, and Heredia Colon, much like Grace Lopez was the hot hand in the first two sets, Heredia Colon heating up.
You know, it's probably a lot like baseball. When you just committed to go and swing on the ball, no matter how high or fast that ball's coming at you, you're going to try to make a move. That ball was coming fast. Pimentel trying to make the move.
3-0 run for the Canes. Tough serve off the tape. Grieve wins the one-on-one against Pimentel again.
You know, I would credit Clemson right now to wake Miami up. The way they're playing after taking the loss against Clemson on Friday night, you just woke some Hurricanes up.
It's hard to look at the way they've played today, Keely, and I feel like this is the best Miami's played all year. And one of the reasons they were picked to finish third in the ACC.
Is it too corny to say Category 5 Hurricane?
No, not at all. Kill from Mendez. Yeah, you got to hang that red and black flag up.
Mendez knows she has to step it up. That's 3 kills right now in this set. You can do it, Mendez, if you decide.
Fortaleza, Brazil. That's in the northeast corner.
Look at you.
Of the country. Well, and again, you know, I think a lot of Americans, you sit here and think Brazil, and you kind of think everybody's from the same area. But, I mean, Brazil, just a massive country. As that line shot is on the line for Grace Lopez, point Miami, and the Canes are within 1. You look at Eloisa Suarez, the other freshman from Brazil. She's in the southeast corner of Brazil, and that's, I mean, we're talking a 2,000-mile difference. That's like California to the East Coast is how far apart they were, although, again, both from Brazil.
Nice save.
Otene with the tool that time. Point Yellow Jackets.
The way Otene plays is so steady. She's like, all this Brazilian, you got Puerto Rican, I'm from New Zealand, represent.
How about those kicks, huh?
No, I didn't even give me a pair of those.
Well, neon green, neon pink.
Wow.
Angela Grieve. Again, we've seen now the trio for Miami emerge. It was Grace Lopez those first couple of sets, but now Heredia, Colon, and Grieve showing, hey, we're a big part of this offense too.
You love it. And Vach just holding that ball enough, popping it so the middle held just enough.
And service error there on Lopez. Yellow Jackets, first to 10 here in the third set. Liz Patterson coming in to serve.
She had those sweet digs early on. Let's see it again.
Grace Lopez, like a sledgehammer at hyperspeed.
Little deja vu from the first set. Vach went to her twice early on in the first set. Nice to see her going back in the third, just taking that rip. Gosh, you got a long international professional career if you want, the way you're going, Lopez.
Greaves serving. And from the middle that time, Hannah Bosey.
As a setter, if you're Suarez, if you know Bosey's best attack is the three, a little distance set, what we just saw, you have to get her that ball when she's ready. So communicate when you're going to set her and dish it like you just did.
She's got 2 kills on 2 swings, Keeley. Lopez. That is now 19 kills for the freshman, and we're not even at the midway point of the third set. This is just stultifying.
Lopez, back row. This is just knowing where your hot hand is with Vach. Doesn't matter where the pass is. You're putting the ball up for 23.
Hitting .385 on 39 attacks. Off speed, Pimentel to Otene. Vach goes to Heredia. Colon, corner pocket. And we're deadlocked at 11 now.
The way Miami is playing, I'm not sure any ACC team can beat them today. They're just cruising offensively, all players stepping up, now sticking passes, and Vach is running an offensive show.
Mendez is blocked. The Canes are on fire. And Georgia Tech has to take a timeout as they're in danger of getting swept here at home by Miami. They look like one of the top teams in the country this afternoon. Fashion. For a moment, it looks like Georgia Tech was going to take control of this third set, but Miami has won 10 of the last 15 points, Keeley, and they just look like a juggernaut.
Just incredibly done right now. You got Lopez, 19 kills, Colon working now hard in the third set, and the block game from Miami solid.
How about that dig from Moisio? Wow. And a kill and a facial from Heredia Colon.
This is an A-plus performance we're seeing with Miami. Defensively, just playing with passion, and then crushing the ball as Colon on the outside.
The other thing that jumps out to me about the stats, Keeley, as we look at this point, Clemson had 9 aces against Miami on Friday. Miami hasn't been aced once this match.
That says a lot. Big. So not just the ace. So you'll see what is not shown in the stats is any type of shank passes, but you see Miami now sticking the passes right at the net. Got to serve really tough.
I mean, there's another good example. That's a tough serve, and they're going to get a tool out of it. Point Miami and the Canes. I mean, they can smell it right now. Not just a win here at O'Keefe, but a potential sweep.
Coach Keno talks about there's no such thing as an upset in his eyes. It's any given night, and his night is tonight. Miami is cruising the way they're playing right now.
I'm not sure how Heredia Colon found it, but she did. Oh, and Grace Lopez now with 20. A 20-burger.
20 kills, and we're not even through the first 3 sets. That's averaging 6.6 kills percent. The #1 person in the nation right now only averages 5.44 kills percent. That just shows you the way Lopez is playing is out of her mind.
Just long, point Miami. Larissa Mendez, the right idea, trying to go to the sharp angle. What can Coach Collier do? I mean, you've got one timeout left. I don't think you want to burn it quite yet, but she might need to pull the trigger on it soon, no?
I think you're going to see a 6-2 coming here shortly just to get some type of offense options instead of two-hitter situation. When Suarez goes back to the front row, you got to get a third hitter in there.
Bertolino blocked. And a violation against the Yellow Jackets. Point Miami. They lead by 5. And the Hurricanes erupt from their bench, and the Yellow Jackets in danger of getting capsized here.
Let's say Miami can do this in 3 sets. Player of the game, it is obvious. Grace Lopez, right now at 20 kills, hitting over close to 400, hitting 390. And it's the setting by Vach, not only understanding where her hot hand is, but now she's working Cologne on the outside, giving her some power swings. It's great to see teams not look so much at record, but play day to day. And if Miami wins this, you have to credit Clemson. Good job, Clemson, on pulling up that win, because Miami is playing a whole nother level.
That speaks to the depth of the conference, Keely. And of course, we know it's only going to get deeper this time a year from now when Stanford, Cal, and SMU hop in. But I mean, ACC volleyball has come such a long, long way in a short amount of time, quite honestly. I mean, within the last 10 years, I think the conference has changed considerably.
It was nice to having both Pitt and Louisville in the Final Four going into it. Yeah, how nice was that for the ACC just to put ACC on the map, and now you have 3 teams ranked in the top 11, Georgia Tech with being 11. So it's nice to see. And then teams like Miami battling injury, Florida State battling injury, fighting back. So any given night, these ACC teams are playing at a different level.
Miami doing this without their first-team All-ACC middle blocker, Janice Leal. They're also without their second-string middle blocker, and Abby Cassiano. She's supposed to be back next week, we're told. That's good news for the Canes. Can they finish off a sweep here in Atlanta? Bertolino with the kill.
You know, that was a tip shot, because you see Miami really digging the hard shots right now. That's a note that you put in your head. Okay, if I show hit and then drop in the tip, maybe I can get the defenders back on their heels.
Pimentel.
Oh my gosh.
And a Grace Lopez, 21 kills. Tamara Otene and Bianca Bertolino have combined for 21 kills.
Looking at the performance by Lopez, I'm sure it plays, it wins in your team. So you went 1-1 this weekend, but ACC Player of the Week, ACC Freshman of the Week, it's hard to pass on her with the performance we are seeing today.
And Lopez long that time, point Georgia Tech.
That's all you can hope for if you're Georgia Tech, like Lopez. Hit it out of bounds, hit it somewhere else. But when you've been connected in the court, you are working. For Georgia Tech, you're back in your 2-hitter situation. They're keeping Suarez in on the front line.
Mendez serving. Vach goes to Lopez this time.
Gosh.
And she's got another kill, 22. And for Grace Lopez, she's one shy of her career high, 23 kills. That was in a 5-set match.
So 22 kills, you're hitting 7.33 kills per set. Again, Wiley, the #1 person in the nation right now, kills per set is 5.44. This is the performance. It is incredible, Grace Lopez.
Suarez to Otene. Little flat-footed. Good dig from Rosado. Grieve off speed. And a thunder slam on the free ball. Point Miami. And Keeley, it's all right there in front of them. A potential sweep here at O'Keefe. And I'm not sure Michelle Collier feels like there's much she can do. Still with the timeout in her pocket, but I think she's said about everything she can right now, no?
I'm not sure what you can do. The way Miami is playing together and then the lights-out performance we're seeing with Lopez, I'm not sure you can pull this off if you're Georgia Tech.
Pierce, what a dig that time from Vach. Otene's got the kill. Point Tech. Miami, they hit 375 in the second set. We were pretty blown away. They're hitting 414 in this set. And there it is. The last time the Jackets were swept at home, that Louisville team went to the Final Four that year. Grieve looking for the tool. Nice one-hand dig by Rosado. Lopez did not get the hands. Point Tech. And even her misses are scary.
Lauren Sandin, early in the rally, had a free ball to send, and she decided to send it to the right side of the court. That created the chaos just necessary for that long rally to win Georgia Tech's favor.
Savvy play from Sandin. Lopez. Dig from Pimentel. Suarez feeds Bertolino. And she's got it just inside the back line. Yellow Jackets not done yet.
They call O'Keefe Jim the seventh man for Georgia Tech. They're going to need all the energy you can get. These plays right now are waking the fans up. Great deep corner shot by Bertolino.
Bertolino, that's a 4-0 run for the Yellow Jackets. Timeout called by Coach Keno. And like we said, Keeley, it can flip so fast. Miami up 20-14 in this third set. If Georgia Tech finds a way to win this set, it's a brand new match because this crowd will be right back into it.
We've seen this often with Georgia Tech. They play a team and how hard are you going to make us play today? And Miami is pushing Georgia Tech to its limit, and you see the experience kick in. Players like Otene step up. Bertolino on the outside, and the service game for Georgia Tech looks a lot better right now.
Yellow Jackets still with one timeout. And these two teams, this has been such an even series the last 7 years. They've split the last 10 meetings. Miami won last year in South Florida. Georgia Tech won the year before here in Atlanta. But the Hurricanes, they've had some success at Georgia Tech over the years. They've actually won 10 matches here at O'Keefe. There was a long stretch where Miami won about 10 in a row. But for the Hurricanes, this is a long time out. Getting that last message in as the band crescendos. Keeley, I don't know if we can hear each other in here.
I don't think I can hear you, Wiley. I'm like right up in your face trying to hear it. You can feel the band pick up their energy. Fans going strong. They know they're going to need to get on Georgia Tech's back to push this set.
Well, quite honestly, Keeley, at this point in the match, I'm not sure there is much to say. Georgia Tech knows the circumstances. Miami knows what's possible. Lopez wide. Point Tech. 5-0 run for the Yellow Jackets. They're back up against the wall, Keeley, and they're punching their way off the ropes.
Just a miss hit. You had a lot of line to work with. I know Lopez wants that one back, but nobody in Miami's mad at you right now because you've been carrying this team.
And now a review, a challenge called from Coach Keno Gandara. And Coach Gondara, this might be just serving as an extra timeout in there, right?
I think he's not only using the challenge to check the net, check a touch, but it's a good time just to cut momentum. It's another way to get almost a longer timeout to break down all the video as he gathers his team on the serve.
What's the challenge for Miami here, Keely? I mean, you took down a lot of great teams in your day as a player. We do get a look here. Let's be sure this isn't going anywhere. That looks pretty clear. It didn't hit anybody, right?
Correct.
All right, so again, we don't. Yeah, they've already got the call in here from our referee, Thomas Hobbs. But when you're trying to close out a team on the road and a team that's won a lot in a hostile environment, emotionally, what's it like being for Miami? I mean, you're this close and you're starting to feel it slip away a little bit.
You have to emotionally let go of the outcome. When you're playing on the court, you have to emotionally let go so you can actually just play your game. Because if you're holding on tight to the outcome, your game gets tight.
Looking for a run breaker. Not on that one. Deandra Pierce. And we're even at 20. A 6-0 run from number 11, Georgia Tech.
Biggest play of the game by Pierce with that block close.
Tough serve. And a kill right down Main Street. Aurelia Colon finally snapping the 6-0 run.
You know, I thought it was going to be good news that you saw Lopez take the bump set so she couldn't attack, but don't forget you got Colon in middle back to rip.
That's her 12th kill. We've talked a lot about Lopez, but Aurelia Colon hitting .357 in this match. Tough serve. And a violation against Georgia Tech. Alanis Vieira with the ace that time. Wow.
That's a huge off the bench coming and serving.
Junior from Longwood, Florida. It's her first action of the afternoon, and now I think Miami thought a timeout was called. Coach Gondara not all too pleased with how that was handled. Georgia Tech got a little bit of an extra meeting without calling timeout. And that serve is long. Point Georgia Tech. Jackets are not done yet.
And the energy has entered the court. Liz Patterson going back to serve for Georgia Tech. Not only does she do a great job getting her serve going, but it's her energy on the court. Let's see if Georgia Tech can get some points rolling.
Grieve with the perfect spot. How about the poise from the red shirt senior?
That was a beautiful set delivery. Beautiful by Tejada, going with the back set. Hey, she's outside playing middle right now. She can do it all. Why not train her as a setter as well with that back set?
She's got 99 career aces. Bertolino's blocked, and it's match point for the Hurricanes here in O'Keefe.
Huge block right there, Hurricanes, as you felt the Yellow Jackets coming back for you. That's some shutdown type of play. Great penetration after a beautiful back set by Tejada.
Miami has put together one of their best performances of the season, and they are 1 point away from stealing some headlines nationally on this Sunday. Number 11, Georgia Tech, has not been swept here at O'Keefe in nearly 2 years. One of the toughest environments to win in the ACC. 22 straight sellouts. The Canes a chance to sweep. The hands. Georgia Tech stays alive. Can they survive another match points?
The good news for Georgia Tech, they're back in a three-hitter situation. You have Mendez, a strong blocker. Suarez back on the service line. Colon's been a hot hand right now. It's hard not to go to her if you get a first pass.
Suarez. Vach. To Aurelia Colon. She's blocked. Mendez. Bozy. Even at 24. The Yellow Jackets survive back-to-back match points.
I thought the block from Pierce early on was the biggest block of the day, but right here, Georgia Tech needed that. Mendez stepping it up.
And now, is that a sideline warning here from our official on the floor? Judging by his hand signals, trying to tell the Georgia Tech bench they need to slide a little bit further back.
You have all coaches standing on both sides of the court right now.
And timeout, Miami. This is their final timeout. There was a little bit of a confusion about that.
And that's what I thought early on. It was 24-23,
yes.
And I felt like Georgia Tech needed just 1 point to tie it up.
That's what I thought as well. And then all of a sudden it was 24-23. Savannah Bach asking for clarification. Coach Keno confused as well. And a lot of scrutiny here on the scorekeeping.
About this serve right now by Suarez. And what's been working, not the hard serves, but almost the dropping a little shoulder in front of the serve receive passer. That's been working really well for Georgia Tech.
All righty. So it's 24 all. Suarez still serving for the Yellow Jackets. Lopez, great dig from Suarez. Pimentel tries to give it to Bertolino, still alive, but a violation against Georgia Tech, and Michelle Collier incredulous at the call. The point belongs to Miami. It's been a net violation assessed to the Yellow Jackets. Keely, what did you see there?
There was net motion, so you saw the net moving, but who was it from? Was it, there's the ball. Pimentel, that's a subjective play. So if Pimentel's hands did reach over, but just like that net violation later, if it didn't interfere with the play, it can be a play-on situation.
As you said, subjective call. There's nothing to be reviewed. So it's a third match point for Miami. Trying for the sweep. Milana Moisio serving. And she's got the ace. And Miami sweeps number 11 Georgia Tech on the road.
I'm not sure if there's an ACC team that could have taken this win off of Miami the way that they were playing today as a team collectively, in the lights-out performance we saw by Lopez. 22 kills, taking over the match. Nicely done, Miami.